Thank you, Councillor. Minister, of course, anything that I'll say is absolutely nothing personal against yourself. You're an excellent person and I admire you very much on a personal basis. But could I just please say to you, in the honour of God, are you gone simple or what? Because look at what you're doing. The company's corporate governance, enforcement and regulatory provision aims to enhance and strengthen the enforcement and regulatory provisions within the Companies Act of 2014. Councillor, you were around for a long time. They're talking about governance, they're talking about more regulations at a time when 50 restaurants a week are closing in Ireland. There's more small businesses shutting down, there's small shops, there's hairdressers, there's people going out of business like the birds migrating. And here we have people talking about more corporate governance. My good God, if anybody was looking in at this tonight, they'd say that the government was gone simple. If I thought he were doing something to help business, if I thought that tonight was about helping people, and I don't care if there's parties here that are grumbling or something, if they're not interested in work, and if they're not interested in businesses, I'm talking about keeping people in business. And you know there are politicians that think that there's something dirty about business. They think that there's something wrong with people who get up in the morning, whether they're families or individuals, and who get out and create employment and they want to make a profit and pay tax on it. Is there something wrong with that? There absolutely is not. And I don't like to hear people mouthing and mumbling under their breath because they might have something against something that I'm saying. I'll stand up for workers. I'll stand up for employers. And I'm very glad that you will. But when I see about more regulation, regulatory provisions, and talking about things, all right, well, I'll ask you, what measures will be put in place to support companies, especially small micro businesses, in implementing the new provisions? Will you answer that? Will there be financial or technical assistance available? Cyber security measures? How will the government ensure that the move towards digital corporate governance does not compromise cyber security? There's a pile of questions like this I could be asking you as well, but I'm actually going to leave off that because I want to concentrate on keeping business open. And I want to say to you, Minister, that do you realise how many small businesses are going? I'm so grateful to the big businesses, to the tech companies that come here and create massive wealth. We saw what was recently got off of Apple, even though the government wasn't looking for it, but they got it, and I'm glad that they have it, and they'll spend it well, I hope. I hope it won't go on a bike shed or a second bike shed, as some leaders were looking for a second bike shed. I'm trying to get that message out there with the last couple of days, but the media don't seem to want to hear about it. But yes, there was people that wanted a second bike shed, and they're all day today talking about the cost of the first one, but there was a party leader who wanted a second one built. And how many times I'll get up on the roof someday and I'll shout about it to see would somebody listen to it and pick up on it and ask who was the party leader that wanted a second bike shed. But go away from that and coming back to what we're talking about, and that's business. I'm grateful to the big tech companies, of course I am, but who I'm also very grateful to is the man and the woman who maybe have a small little company. They might have no employees. It might be themselves, might be one or two, or it could be the neighbour, or it could be 5 or 6 people. They're the backbone of Ireland. They're the people that myself and this man here on the left-hand side of me, we are up here with our shirts off fighting for those people from County Kerry and for small business. And if a message wants to go out that there's people mouthing under their breath about me or complaining about me when I'm saying something about business and that I want business, well, if there are political parties that don't like business, if they think that everybody can be idle and if they think that everybody can live off nothing, people have to work to pay tax. And that's what makes this economy turn, and that's what keeps us all going. But if there's representatives inside here that have a problem with work, well, that's their own business. And they can talk to the mirror if they like. But I'm really upset about this because I'm worried about what more pressures is it going to put on small businesses. And every day of the week, these people are struggling. They're dealing with every type of agency of the state, because the minute you do start a business, You first of all have the problem of your own finance, your microfinance, trying to borrow money, whether it's leasing, whether it's getting loans, whatever business you're at, you have to deal with that issue. You also then have to deal with all the governance that is there. And I'm not trying to say that we shouldn't have governance. Of course we have to. Of course people have to keep their books right. But you know, there is a thing called common sense. There is a thing called balance. There is a thing called giving people a chance. And there was a time when people were given a chance. And there was a bit of leeway. But now there seems to be, the minute you open a door, if you open a door on the side of a small village or inside in a big town or in a city, you have every type of person coming in the door looking for something off you. And I mean they're looking for something off you. If it was down to nothing else, only the smallest of things, every person that comes in the door and every letter that comes in the door is putting more penal servitude and hardship down on top of you and trying to see what way they can screw you up against the wall. And at the same time, all you're trying to do is create a business. And how can young people be encouraged to go into business? When I see young tradesmen and they're trying to start out and they're great at their trade, count colour, and they're gifted with their hands, but maybe it's difficult for them to try and do the book side of it, and they're doing their best trying to do that, and you know that can be a struggle. If you're a farmer now, you want to be very careful when you're marrying. You should nearly marry a bookkeeper or an accountant to be able to keep the house in order. It's gone that way. I don't want to eat into Denny's time. Thank you.